Subscribe to our YouTube channel for in depth interviews of India Inc. and press the bell icon so that you do not miss our updates.
Hello and welcome to Nirmal Bang, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Hiraldadia. We have with us Kunal Shah, Head of Commodities Research, joining in. Welcome to the show, Kunal. Kunal, firstly, let's start with how the budget has been. I think blockbuster announcements that have come in, and that's actually made the equity markets really happy. It's the biggest single day rise for the budget days that we've seen since 2001 or 2011, if I'm not mistaken. But taking the announcements into consideration for the commodities market, you have gold prices, which is plunged because the custom duty has been cut, and similar is the situation with silver as well. What would you make of this announcement?
Yeah, first of all, two relevant information for commodity market participant today. One, the announcement of gold swap exchange. The framework, the guideline is not yet come, but that is very positive. The spot bullion exchange, setting up bullion exchange. Another important announcement was the import duty cut in gold and silver by 10%. So we have seen that impact of the same in the domestic market. In fact, the prices at one point hit 4% lower freeze because there was confusion whether there is going to be 5% import duty cut or 2.5% import duty cut. But now it is very clear that we are going to see that 2.5% duty cut because there is less of 2.5% which is going to be implied. So prices have already taken a hit, but I think 48,200 good levels to go long. 48 550 550 to 700 are kind of because in international silver is making new high because of the phenomenon I explained you. The Reddit community started to go long in silver. So what they did with the few stocks like I mentioned you. Those the same kind of movement is expected in silver. Very, if you're short, put a strict stop loss, and I think it can still go up. It's the biggest rise in silver from so many time. I mean, 10% up in COMEX in silver. So it's already at near all-time high levels in COMEX. So I would recommend, don't go short and keep trailing your stop losses and go long. Silver still can test on MCX 72,500. Keep a stop loss, and it can test 74,500 to 75,000.
Right, so that's with regards to where gold and silver goes. Now, with this, if you see in terms of the US dollar, that's lacking momentum as well. Uh, Taking the announcements of the budget into consideration, taking the way the dollar index has been moving, what is your anticipation on the index and in turn its impact on the precious metals?
Yeah, so dollar index is in fact strengthened today, in spite of the fact whatever is going on. So I think from here it can strengthen to the maximum level of 90.90 to 90.95, and this was one of those days where in spite of the fiscal deficit, higher fiscal deficit, higher spending by the government, the Indian rupee continued to strengthen after the budget announcement. So it seems that the risk on trade is back on, and the budget was phenomenal, excellent budget we had. So Indian rupee, the high what we saw today, 73.50, so it will breach on and the downside, it can test levels of 73. That seems to be the day because of the massive inflow expected in days to come.
Right. And with this, what do you make of the announcements that have come in? Any impact on the base metals front? Because clearly you had the base metals as well. Uh, that's something which isn't focused from here on.
Yeah, copper scrap copper import duty has been reduced by 2.5%, and the impact of the same was visible on the MCX. So on one side, if you look at what has happened, the LME copper is also down by 0.5%, and I think that on MCX copper also, because of the duty reduction we are seeing,
Mm.
the prices are down to 0.75%. So I think copper was looking weak. Metals was looking weak because the in China, if you look at the Shibor, so that is the interbanking lending rate between the banks. That has started declining. That's not good sign for metal. Put it in the group today morning,
Hmm.
and hence we saw copper prices going declining and testing those levels. So I still recommend to sell the rallies. 596, 597 good levels to go short. On the downside, you can again see 590 to 589.
Right. And with this, if you have to see in terms of crude as well, do you think there could be further consolidation from here on? Because a lot of people are now talking of $60 to $65 per barrel. But how far-fetched a thought is that?
I think it's difficult right now. But the thing is, once the vaccination is going to start, COVID is under control, demand is going to be the back, but supply is also going to come back aggressively. So I'm not very optimistic. $2-3 upside maximum you can see for evening session. I would still feel that I would still take a short call. 38.60 I will sell. Downside I will wait for the target of 37.60
Right.
and 3900 will be my stop loss.
Right. And Kunal, there's a question coming in. Any reason for silver to go higher in COMEX? And secondly, could we see silver at 80,000?
Yes, we can. I explained you the GameStop stock was trading at $30 in US, and this Reddit community went long in that. There was a short squeeze in that, and from $30 that stock went to $500,
Hmm.
and from $500 that stock went down to $200. So the same community which are doing all these things have taken up long position in silver. So obviously the fundamentals were positive, but the way silver prices moved up is because of the Reddit Reddit community. The trading community has gone long, and shorts are trapped. So forget about the fundamentals right now. Technically, with this technical reason, it looks definitely poised to move up further. And my recommendation is to buy the dips. 73,000, 72,800 buy. 70 to 400 should be a stop loss, and wait for the target of 74,000.
Right. And very lastly, Kunal, anything do you think that we've missed from the budget that could impact the commodities market?
I think the highlight for the budget for from the commodity point of view is the two news. One is the import duty cut
Hmm.
of gold, and setting up a gold exchange, and the guidelines are awaited. So these are the two important thing which has taken place for commodities.
Right. And I think we've answered all the questions as well. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. Thank you, Kunal, as well.